How much further is it, dear boy? We're nearly there. You seem nervous. Well, I wasn't born yesterday. I won't be swindled, you know. And it's not every day you hear about one of these. Here it is. Oh, she is a beaut. Have you got any better lights in here? Can barely see. What year was this? Hold on a moment. Powering up. She is glorious. A Thunderhawk gunship. Oh my. Why don't you put down that axe, old boy? I doubt we'll be seeing any adversaries in here. Or adversaries, is it? Anyways, I'd like to take her for a test spin. That can be arranged. How about those lights then? Oh, take it. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Warhammer Man Studios, and of course I'm Warhammer Man. As promised, I did come back with the old Thunderhawk gunship. But first, let's see the stars of our show. A couple just random models off the shelf over there. This was a little Tech Marine I had converted up a while back. And of course, good old Rogue Trader, Janice Strait, looking to pick up a Thunderhawk gunship on the low, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get a good deal though, we'll see what's up. Negotiations may be short. I'm not sure. But anyway, so yeah, this is the Mark 1 Thunderhawk. Thunderhawk gunship. It is, it's pretty old. I made this bad boy way back in the day when the only flyer available was that first Valkyrie. And then, you know, there was some Forge World flyers. This thing's been in the shop for a minute, so honestly, like, I'll give it a shot, but I doubt if it fires up. We'll see what's going on here. Let me just clear away some of the stuff here. It gets all wired up. Put the ECU back in. There should be hopefully some fusion cores in it. I'm not sure. I should have checked before I started this up, to tell you the truth, but let me just kind of pull it out here a little bit. Yeah, so it's basically, you know, obviously it needs a coat of paint. Never painted it. It's basically made from a combination of, obviously a Land Raider. This is the Land Raider, and then what I did was I sliced it down the middle and then took out a chunk of the middle of the Land Raider and then put it back together without the chunk in the middle so that it was not as wide, because the profile was just too much. And then, you know, obviously made it so the front hatch and everything still functions. I'm going to spin it back around this way for a sec, so you can pop that bad boy open and, you know, the Marines can jump out and everything. It's magnetized, of course, obviously. You know, these are fully, I can't really see if we want to do that. These fully, like, rotate and everything can be removed for paint. You know, it is fully functioning. X-Wing style wings, so, you know, when it's got to hit those sick maneuvers, dogfighting Thunderhawk gunship, you know what I mean? Let's see what else. So it's obviously, you know, the Land Raider, and then it is the chassis of a Baneblade, basically, makes up like the back half of it. And you know, obviously you can see the Baneblade turret and everything. I cut the turret like mount part off, and then I recentered it because it's like off to the side on the Baneblade kit normally, and I wanted it still to be able to function, even though like a Thunderhawk really wouldn't have like a turning turret or whatever. Mine does, because obviously it's cool. let's see what else. I mean, obviously it still goes up and down and all that cool stuff too, but you have to be careful because it'll actually, you can shoot the cockpit if you're a little, you know, so when you're live fire, you need to be careful and make sure you're not too trigger happy there, just messing around. The heavy bolts are underslungs, fully pivot and everything. Let's see, you could drop the bombs too. It's got like these Thunderhawk bombs in it or whatever. I can't remember what they're called, Hellstrike missiles or Thunderhawk, whatever. They could drop out of there too, if you want to take them off to actually like keep track of how many you've used in a game. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, it's nothing like fancy. Like I said, this one has got like a lot of card stock to it, and you know, was obviously like made in a different era. This thing is old school. It's been around for a long time. But you know, it's obviously still cool. It's definitely a Thunderhawk gunship that you could, you know, use in a game if you wanted to. You can see obviously the back, and like I said about the thrusters, they're like kind of smaller than I would like. Honestly, I'd rather have some of like the Storm Raven ones or something like that now. But you know, this was like my first big conversion I ever did, or like I don't know if you would. I guess you would call it a kit bash. It's multiple kits put together, but that word didn't even like exist when I made this. So it was pre kit bash. It was really just back then like conversion or whatever. And it's tough to tell, but if I kind of tilt it, maybe I don't think you can. If I can get a good shot of the top of the wings. I just like basically did like all these from scratch. I mean, not obviously not the middle one, but got a little hung up there for like painting purposes. And obviously, I haven't finished, you know, doing the. I haven't finished doing like the little cockpit and everything. I got like two little bros kind of sitting in there, but you know, not enough to it yet. And then, oh yeah, this all like opens up. Let me throw the other half over here. Like I said, this was done a long time ago, so some of this work is not like beautiful. It's not amazing, but I mean, overall, it gets the point across. You know, I wanted to be able to have like the little hatch doors that open up and, you know, both sides. And then I figured I'd detail the interior so when you were looking in, you could see. So you could still like get after this and paint it and take it apart and do what you got to do with the, you know, do what you got to do with it. And obviously, like, it stays together good enough. Like when you were looking at it before, you know, I don't think you could tell that I was about to just like rip it in half. So, but that's like the other half, obviously. And you know, I built it in a way basically that it would kind of like hug the bottom of the Land Raider. So the Baneblade was kind of just like cuddling up on the Land Raider, and then together they could form like the giant robot. But yeah, that's basically, you know, that's the basis of it. Oh, and I did cut out for a flying stand on this one. Oh, let me show you a close up of the, you know, this is a little bit, some of this again is a little bit ghetto, so please bear with me. This was done a long time ago, a lot of this. But these little missiles like rotate in here and can be like taken out. You know, the heavy bolters actually like rotate. Of course, it's right. I'm like kind of wedged in there good so they don't fall out when it's just sitting there, but they can like rotate. And then you know, everything's been converted obviously, but you can put like the little shields on top there and everything. You know, it's pretty cool little beast, you know what I'm saying? It's not, like I said, you know, it definitely has like the relic look to it, but when I made this one, Forge World only had the one Thunderhawk, and it was the old school style one. So this one is in many ways like modeled after the old school Thunderhawk, as well as the you know, like the older art. And I think now, and you see it's like, it literally like snaps back together. This was pre like using magnets to attach everything, so it actually like literally just snaps together. And then, you know, it pretty well covers up the seam once it's done. I mean, you can obviously see it now and you know it comes apart, but you know, you probably couldn't when you were glancing at it before. But you know, and that's basically it. It's definitely, it's like my relic Thunderhawk. It's my old school, for sure. It's not as cool as the newer ones that I make, and it's not as sleek, but I think it's a little bit more of like the presence of the Thunderhawk because it's a little bigger and the cannon on top's like pretty massive. This little bad boy over here too, just you can kind of get a scale, like size comparison, you know what I mean? Obviously, because this is up front, it's gonna look like a little bigger than it actually is too. But you know, when you spin this thing, you know, and I mean, it's still not, you know, this isn't, obviously a Storm Raven's like way bigger than this little guy, but you know, just so you get the point of it, that's essentially what you're looking at. It's like a little fly on the wing of the Thunderhawk gunship. There's no good way to scale it because the environment's like so small that I have to like put it in. Anywhere I put it, it kind of is gonna look like. But yeah, that's it. It's just a little bee buzzing around. A little fruit fly in the world of the Thunderhawk gunships. And then let me see what we could do right here. That was not supposed to be a simulated takeoff, but it did work out that way. Alright. Oh man, I don't think it's got room to take off, dude. That's like, honestly, that's cutting it a little closer than I would like, but we'll give it a shot. Sort of reminds me of the Star Trek movie where they like scrape on their way out, but just sneak it under there, it'll be alright. Okay, but yeah. So yeah, that's it hovering. I think it's like legitimately holding it up right now. Hang on. Oh man, I wasn't even gonna do this video today, honestly, but I have been like working all morning. Crushing it, so I was like, alright, I'm about to take a break and just mess around for a minute. I kind of did this little setup. There we go. You can kind of see how I just sort of put everything together here too to make it look like, again, you know, so sort of like a little hangar. I had, you know, obviously the same setup for the knights earlier, and then I just mixed it up a little bit. Oops. Yeah, but there, that's it. I mean, it obviously hovers on its own, and you know, sits real nicely and everything. Definitely is pretty awesome on the battlefield and fun to use. Although, you know, it definitely does a ton of damage, but it's also a ton of points. So, you know, it's not very realistic to like play it in most games. But if you're playing like a massive apocalypse game or something like that, it's like always cool to have like multiple 1,000-point models, because it allows you like use a force that you obviously like, you know, that's how you make up like 10,000-point armies and stuff like that. But I mean, it's definitely a flying behemoth. It's definitely like you know, a little bit of a relic. The newer style ones are much cooler in my opinion, and I guess sort of like because it's still like in plasticard and plastic and everything, you know, it kind of like looks a little awkward still, as where I think if it was painted all one color and everything, it would look like a little more uniform.